Alright guys, now it's time to talk about mid-round on T-side. Now this is a topic I could probably go super in-depth with, especially for teams, but I'm going to have to keep it somewhat brief so that individually you could focus on the points I'm making and then bring them to a team if you have that chance. Now we're going to go in game, same map, Dust 2, everything we just talked about, but flipping it on its head. Now, as an individual, like I said, this topic can be somewhat limited because it's based on what utility you have left and assuming you're not going to get much help from your teammates. So, let's say you had to use both flashes to take long control, right? And you took long, and you get this kill, or the big guy crossing, and then no one else tries to fight you and they fall back. The tough part here is maybe you have a smoke left, maybe you have a molly left, something like that. But in this case, you have to be creative with the nades you have left. Now, if you get lucky and you have teammates who flash over for you and you only used one nade, you know, maybe when you come up long late, you can get creative. Something I like to do in pugs is I'll throw like a smoke that barely covers cross, and then I'll throw a flash like this to blind an opper, and then right as it's about to pop, I'll run up, and I know that if he was peeking here, my flash will hit him, and he'll like turn from it, and he'll come back, and he might try to re-peek, but I can run up the wall, and if I have teammates behind me, I could like take this peek, and I could fight people here. You could die. It's an aggressive play that could be just stopped easily by a guy standing right here or something. You never know. So playing as an individual mid-game is a unique thing, and I think one of the things you guys could start out by doing is, first of all, looking at what area you took, and then just spending time practicing to know where the CTs probably are, right? If I kill one guy big pit and there's no one else here, I'm going to assume that there could be a guy hiding in this corner. It could be top A, and it could be on catwalk. It's not a big mystery, right? And then, okay, well, the easiest way, if there's an opera up here to take this with no flashes, would be to go back, and I would have long control. They're worried about long, which means the opera has to take it. I come all the way back around to cat. Depending on what my team did, I could either get up cat, just walking up, or I could learn to smoke like this, to smoke on Xbox or something. Well, I don't actually have a good one from right there. You could find different smokes, and maybe create a way for you to like walk through the smoke, and you create a unique play to come back up cat. So that's not what I'm necessarily talking about. You can create a lot of plays for mid-game for yourself, but the thing about mid-game is it really comes down to your teammates, and this is where the toughest part, I think, of solo queuing actually lies. Because baiting and kill trading is a big part of mid-game, right? Because baiting can be seen as a bad thing, but it's actually one of the biggest parts of Counter-Strike. If you know the opper's right here, and you have an opper behind you, a play that we commonly use at a pro level if we don't have a lot of utility is, hey, I'm going to jump out, you peek. So maybe we'll throw one flash, and the A carrier will jump like this, but even if you don't have a flash, the A carrier will do something like this where he'll jump out wide, and the opera will just get to peek back here behind him or something, right? And just take a clean peek on the opera and get a shot. Or, you know, something more close range when you're going up catwalk. You'll come back up catwalk, and you'll peek like this, and you'll have a teammate right behind you, and it's the holding hands method, kind of the whole philosophy of let's hold hands and we take it an area where we expect an enemy to be, because you want the guy to come behind you and peek the tight angle while you peek the wide angle. So you would swing out here, while your teammate comes in tight. Same thing here. You get close to the wall, and then you step out wide. This is a big mid-game concept, and then he stays close to the wall and he peeks. The reason being is you're trying to pull their crosshair, and then he peeks tight. So they're going to shoot at you, and then he's going to have space to kind of sneak right in at the fastest possible chance. And the reason also is, if he peeks wide with you, there's a chance that they could do something like this, where they get the kill and they can kind of hide. But if they have to shoot here and you're able to peek at the same time, you're going to do a lot of damage, or most likely kill them. So that's a big part of mid-game, is kill trading. And then for in-game leaders, and if you're playing as a team, you know, this is where information comes in handy. One of the biggest parts of mid-round Counter-Strike is information gathering. Okay, we took long A control. Where are the CTs and what nades do they have left? If the CTs used a molly here, maybe in the beginning of the round they used a smoke here, and then your B guy also says, yeah, they used a smoke B, and then maybe they used a smoke on catwalk, you're going to say, okay, they've already used 3 smokes, they only have 2 smokes left. Like, they're not going to be comfortable playing in a lot of spots because they don't have a lot of smokes. So let's just wait for these smokes to fade, and then we'll take catwalk. So mid-round play is a lot about coordination, and like I said, solo queue is not always the easiest, guys, but this goes back to kind of my whole mantra with solo queuing, and I'm going to talk about this more in another section, which is you just have to learn how to communicate well with solo queue people. You have to get the energy up, and you have to try to get good comms, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but you at least tried, right? And this is where map control and understanding what map control is and rotations are so big. So I could talk for a long time on rotations, but I'm going to give you this short spiel. Rotations are always simply thought of as a balance game. The CTs are always trying to balance the map as much as they can. If you kill a long guy, more often than not, if there's 2 B players, one of them is going to probably float more towards mid. And if he was opping mid, you know, maybe he'll stay there. But if he's rifling mid, there's a good chance he leans this way if they think you have long control. Now, if you simply killed a long guy but fell back, and they still have long control, and their team can obviously tell that, and you could tell that, then better chances are not that they're not going to be playing on cat because they're trying to balance the map. So the balance would be one here and one here, right? Balance is not one aggressive on cat, one aggressive long, because now there's no way to help each other. So always try to think of the CTs as they're trying to balance the map in a way where they can help each other the most. And then if they do have long control, this guy who's playing mid is probably not going to be on this side of mid, right? He's probably going to be on this side of mid because if there's only 4 CTs left, they're trying to balance the map. So that's the quickest spiel I could give to that. We can go in-depth on rotations, and maybe I'll do that in another course. And there's honestly a lot of great videos. Watch Sean Garrett's YouTube or my YouTube, and we talk about rotations more in depth, but I only have so much time for each lecture. And honestly, on T-side, guys, the biggest things I want you to focus on are understanding where the CTs might be by practicing just thinking, literally thinking about map balance and where people are trying to be, right, with the map control that you have versus what they have. Counting nades to see how many smokes they have to know if you should go through a smoke or not. Because if they haven't used any smoke left, if they haven't used any smoke and there's 45 seconds on the clock, you're probably going to need to go through this smoke with a flash, right? Because they have another smoke they're going to be able to smoke right after it, and they have cat control, and you don't have long control, and that was your mistake, right? And then you're going to need to learn how to kill trade and bait. So kill trading and baiting is a big part of mid-round T-side play. Whether it's catwalk, B, or long, if you're running in B and you're the first guy in, you're going to need to realize the importance of where you're trying to bait and kill trade. If he's sight, you want to hug the close wall and then jump out wide. Why? Because if you're running wide into the bomb site, he's just going to see you and be able to take a shot and then hide. But if you run to the close angle and you jump out and he's like holding a spot like this or like this, he's going to have to follow you with his crosshair here, and then your team's going to slide in first, right? So you're going to slide here. Even if he kills you, your teammate's going to be able to peek at the same time if you do it right. So practice counting like nades. Practice thinking about just where the teams are trying to, the CTs are trying to bounce map and how. And then kill trading and baiting is a big part. And then once you go into a team, guys, you can think more about these things on a higher level. So I hope that helped you guys, and I'll see you in the next section on late gameplay and how you take this information if you actually didn't take a bomb site during the mid-round.